Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Bye to you too, sir, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Woof. Woof indeed. Let us break out of the hidey hole. Oh, hello. And hello, sheep. You were not here in the evening. That was an interesting appearance for you to have made. But yes, welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Episode 391. Episode 391 here, and the sun, it rises in the east, and that's neat. We are going to continue west, perhaps on a boat if I have one, and a do. Today is Wednesday, August 13th, 2014. Like I said, episode 391. And we're continuing to raise money for Child's Play charity over at farlandsorbust.com. Up to $8,640 over there, raised this season, Season 5 of Far Lands or Bust. I do appreciate that. I also promised to get you an update as to the world save size for Far Lands or Bust here. I got a question from the last episode about whether or not we're breaking any Minecraft... Ow! Breaking any Minecraft records for the size of the world, and no, it's actually kind of for a Minecraft world that I've been playing in for over 3 years now. It's actually not that big because I'm not doing much building. I'm not really exploring in any direction except west, and we are up to 13,586 megabytes, so like 13.5 gigs. I know for a fact that there exist worlds much larger than this. Even recently, JL2579's world that he rode a minecart into the current version of what would be considered not the Farlands, but just the edge of the world to 30 million blocks. He pre-generated using a map editor, and that one was over 160 some odd gigs, I believe, but that's simply because he pre-generated the map. You know, it wasn't generating technically in front of him, so that was the world of the size of the world from beginning to end. So, very, very interesting stuff. So yeah, I'm sure it would be much easier to get a larger world, more so than just walking in one direction, but perhaps this is the longest naturally generated world, I suppose I can say. There's been no pre-generated lands. There's been no MC edits or teleportations, or there's hopefully no breaks in the map. And that's one of the things I still have to work on. Is getting the overviewer map, because the map, I think when we last pressed F3, it was 12 gigs or something like that. Whoa! Or somewhere around 11, 12 gigs. Both generating an overviewer map and also hosting that overviewer map. The overviewer map tends to be much larger size than the actual Minecraft map, because it works like a Google Maps and holds different versions at different zoom levels of each of the images, and there's thousands and thousands of little image files that take up each little section of the map, and I can no longer host that on my web hosting. I could upgrade, and perhaps I should find like a more robust web hosting thing, but I'm looking into my options. But yeah, simply rendering that in Overviewer is gonna take like a week of constant rendering, and being as I only have the one computer at the moment, that's not an option here. So it's gonna maybe have to happen on a server side situation, and I am terrible. I've tried to understand Overviewer, but it is not to be understood. But we'll work on that. We are far more concerned with walking, with raising money for the charity, with feeding Wolfie because he apparently took some damage at some point recently. Have a seat. Oh, you noodle. Gosh, I was like clicking like a madman, and he was not accepting my commands. Have a seat. Sit. Gosh, you're like Bubba. Reference. Yes, I shook your head. I wanted to. That was from Vintage Beef, our friend Vintage Beef. Recently reached 1 million subscribers, and he did a 1,000,000 subscriber video where he did a home tour of where he lives, and Bubba is his, what is that, an English bulldog? I think so. The big wrinkly dogs was sauntering around during that video, and he tried to get him to sit on camera, and he simply would not comply. So that's why I made that joke. But yeah, that was a very cool video, and of course, congratulations to Vintage Beef for 1,000,000 subscribers. His home is very clean. He lives in a very clean home. It almost looks like a model home, like it's staged, you know, like a realtor staged it or something. And he's a very, very tidy individual. And, you know, he's known for, in Minecraft, on the Minecraft server, for being very good at interiors, doing interior design, like making furnitures and kitchens. And, you know, you looked at his kind of mansion he had back in the Season 3 map on Minecraft. He's very good with interiors, and apparently that carries over to the real world, the meat space of the real world. He's a part-time interior. He's not. That's just his own home, but he's very good with interior spaces and accent pieces and whatnot. I know I mentioned that I situated my office here myself, and it is nowhere even after being resituated. There are boxes all over the floor, basically my closet. This is set up to be a bedroom technically, but there's a closet, and just that the closet is where all the junk goes to keep it out of sight and out of mind. And there's a whole bunch. My entire living room, my front room is all the stuff that I took out of my office to make it seem organized is now over there. So I don't have the same sensibilities. But anyway, we're continuing on here. Woof! And I do have some video game news. Perhaps you remember when I played the most recent Tomb Raider game named Tomb Raider. It was a reboot of the franchise. I played it on the PC through Steam on release day, and I was quite disappointed. Perhaps as a game, as a standalone game, it was okay. It was passable. Certainly not my cup of tea regardless, but as someone such as myself who is a diehard, maybe not diehard, but it was a nostalgic, like, Tomb Raider was my video game series. For some people it's Mario, for people like MC Gamer, it's Zelda, and you know, for other people it's the Call of Duty series or first-person shooters or whatever. For me, it was Tomb Raider. The original Tomb Raider was my first exposure. Sentimental piano music. Ugh. My first exposure to what I would consider next gen or the current gen or the mainstream video gaming. I went from having an NES, the standard Nintendo Entertainment System, jumping to a PlayStation 1 when it came out, and Tomb Raider the game, the original Tomb Raider, was like the first game I had. I think I had a test drive game. Remember Test Drive? I had a test drive game, but then I also got Tomb Raider. I went out and bought because I wanted something other than a racing game, and so that it holds a very nostalgic point for me in my video game upbringing, I suppose I could say. So I've since then purchased on release day every subsequent Tomb Raider and enjoyed them. I thought the original 3 were some of the best games ever. And this, you know, obviously I had my heart broken with Tomb Raider Angel of Darkness. That was a mistake. That was a mistake indeed. But at least at that time the developers acknowledged that, and they cut that off before it became too much of a problem. And then they did a reboot of the reboot. But this latest Tomb Raider was a grave disappointment to me. I played through it. I did a Let's Play of it, and got a lot of grief for being so negative about the Tomb Raider game. Oh, I was gonna say, where's Wolfie? Oh, Wolfie is pushing me off cliffs. Yeah, this was just I have a shovel. A grave disappointment, but and at the end of that that Let's Play series, I proclaimed the next Tomb Raider will be the first Tomb Raider game that I will not be purchasing on release day. And turns out, the news I'm trying to get to, turns out they don't even want me to, because it's been announced that it is an Xbox exclusive. The next game is called The Rise of the Tomb Raider. It is a sequel to the last Tomb Raider, kind of after whatever happened with the island and stuff like that, but it's going to be an Xbox exclusive. And actually, just before I started recording this, some 24 hours after this news broke, it was announced during Gamescom, I believe, is currently going on in Europe. Another big, kind of like the European E3. Ooh, look at this place. Hold on, I wanna get a rooftop, perch top view of this as we make an elevated hidey hole. Perfect. I'm actually gonna make Wolfie sit too while I'm up here because it's a bit. Ooh, it's a wee bit dangerous. Yeah, have a seat. Well done. Wee bit dangerous, but yeah, let's make an elevated hidey hole. And yeah, it's an Xbox exclusive, but articles have just been written now that it's actually a timed exclusive for a holiday. Let's go to sleep and continue lamenting this fact in the morning. And timed exclusiveness. Indeed. But yeah, the news came out yesterday that it was a... I wonder how I can do this. I can't. It was a timed... Or no, that it was... They were just calling it Xbox exclusive. Xbox exclusive. And, a lot of people were like, does this mean it's a timed exclusive? Is this like an actual exclusive for good? It's kind of hard to get a pin on that marketing speak, as it were. Get some postcard shots, and there hasn't been an official word yet, but it's sounding, all of the double speak from the marketers is sounding like it's a timed exclusive. It's a holiday 2014 exclusive, which means after the holiday, it's probably going to be then made available on PlayStation 4 and PC, I would assume. And but it's those those timed exclusives are almost worse than the normal exclusives, because Ko recently was talking about this on a recent Mindcrack podcast, how he hates the timed exclusives so much because what does it do? It doesn't. Are people so trigger happy that they need that, if they don't own an Xbox One already, the fact that they could get Tomb Raider a month or two earlier than what would be made available on their current system, is that what's going to make them run out and get an Xbox One? No, certainly not for the majority of people, maybe one or two people with some incredibly disposable income. Ooh. Sorry. Ooh. Disposable income. Ooh. Oh, that's going to be a good one, I think. Wolfie was in the shot there. And there's some nice foreground action going on there with that tree. Composition of your shots there, everybody, not just random point and shoot. That was a random point and shoot. But yeah, that's just silly. That's just silly, and yet again, I'm sure the way those timed or exclusives work is the Xbox, the console or whatever that gets the exclusive certainly pays the developing studio and publisher a pile of money in order to get that as an exclusive. So once again, it's kind of turned out to being all about the Benjamins and not about the gaming experience or upholding the kind of the Tomb Raider name or anything like that, I feel. So I know I said, and it is going to come to pass, that we will be doing eventually console gaming. Oh gosh, this is not a place to be. Wolfie, no. Oh, you're fine. Wolf, not a. Oh, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, through the Patreon, we are going to do console gaming here, and I have to decide what console to get. This is like a strike in the negative category for the Xbox. And even if I do end up with that, Tomb Raider, like I said, not going to be partaking in that. Sorry. But yeah, this is very, very strange news indeed, and it's just in this day and age where it's about digital downloads. We don't even need to go to the stores anymore to buy games, but then you still hear stuff about things like GameStop getting exclusives or exclusive DLC if you buy it at GameStop versus another. It's just really like, how does this stuff work? And if it does, we as the gamers need to make it stop working. Talk to your friends, sit them down, discuss with them the problems at hand and tell them, no, stop it. Stop buying these exclusive things. Stop encouraging them. This is not helping out our industry at all. So, anyway. Let's continue walking to the far lands. This is not supposed to be a rage-inducing series. This is a nice, lonely walk where we get to talk with ourselves and be one with our thoughts and nature around us, taking pictures and walking with our companion wolf. I should get some pigs, speaking of our companion wolf. Pigs for sustenance. Moo indeed. Pigs for sustenance indeed. I do have a question from Drew. Gave a donation to Child's Play charity and asked, what advice would you give to soon-to-be college graduates looking for a job? I just said we're not supposed to be thinking about bad things, and we're supposed to be positive and calming, and ooh, that actually goes down quite a ways. Careful, Wolfie, good lord, why are you attracted to the edges, the precipice of cliff faces and danger and gravity and fall damage, guy? What advice would you give? Well, good luck. Yeah, there isn't much out there. Well, there is, but there isn't. I would suggest, I am a little bit on a tirade against the unpaid internship. It's coming more and more to light that these companies, specifically the really big companies, your Googles, your Microsofts, your whoever, these big corporate companies have a lot to gain from taking unpaid internships, from basically filling their workforce full of people that they don't have to pay, that they have no investment in, basically. And it's really just, it sets up a bad situation for people looking for work, who need to pay off their incredibly absurd university loan debt, or they need to move out of the house, or they need to pay for the rent, or whatever they need, and the only thing they can get as entry-level employees are these unpaid internships, and it's simply, once again, propagated by, oh, well, there's people out there who are snatching up the unpaid internships. Why should we pay somebody to be an entry-level employee? We can just not pay them and say it's an internship, it's for experience. So I would highly recommend, if at all costs, avoiding unpaid internships or just unpaid anything. It's in art and design, if you're an artist, there's a very viral kind of flowchart that shows up on Tumblr and Twitter and things, where it says, should you work for free? And then there's two branches in the flowchart. One goes to yes, and the other one goes directly to no. It says, should you work for free? If you happen to go to yes, then yes goes directly to the same no box. So no, never work for free. If you are good at something, and it is what you either have your education in, or it's what you are prescribed to be doing for a living, don't do it for free. It's not about greed. It's not about it's not about it's not about greed. It's about being able to survive and live. And if anything, if the people or organizations who want you to work for free are the ones who are perpetrating the greed, as it were. So yeah, that would be my initial, just be wary and avoid at all costs. You have options. Avoid at all costs the free, the unpaid, the internship or whatever, or working for free, or, oh, if you make this website for me, or, oh, if you design my business cards for free, they'll get you great exposure. You can add stuff to your portfolio. No. That's not going to happen, my friend. I am not paid in experience. I get experience by earning it. And, those are two different things. So yeah, that would be my significant, keep that in mind first and foremost. Other advice, don't, like I've said, this has been an eye-opening experience for me doing YouTube, is that I am self-employed. And that was really never given to me as an option throughout all of school, all of high school. I remember in high school we had to take a class called economics. It was basically like, this is a requirement because these are the things you need to know in order to survive in the real world, like how to find an apartment or pay rent, or what utilities or taxes are about, how to do your own taxes, how to, what buying a car means, and loans, and it was always talked about, how to write what's that called? I haven't done one in such a while that I completely forgot. A resume or a CV is being more popular. How to apply for jobs and how to be interviewed and stuff like that. Amazingly, all of these things should be taught to our students like throughout their entire careers, but there's only one semester of one class that was given to us in high school regarding this sort of thing. But it was always talked about, getting a job, like there is a job out there that exists, and you have to be gifted. It has to be bestowed upon you by the HR department of XYZ Corporation. And it was never even, to the best of my recollection, never even given up as a possibility that one could be self-employed. So don't, I know there are certainly different career paths that lend themselves to that more than others. But if you are having problems finding work, being an employee or finding a place to be employed, try to research and find a way to do what you want to do and get paid for it on your own. Whether or not it by simply, doing small little jobs, commission jobs, or stuff like that, to, if you are able to start up your own full-fledged business yourself as a sole proprietor or whatever. Never discount that as a possibility. So yeah, that would, I suppose, be my advice for looking for a job for you college graduates. Good luck. Good luck. You've been left with nothing. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, these are terrible times. Let's go to sleep and continue walking in the morning. And awakeness. And awakeness. Indeed. The pigs. I keep forgetting to pigs. I'm sure we passed by a few of them. Remember pigs, Kurt. Remember pigs. Also, we could probably use some wood, too, while I'm around these trees of choppy downiness. What else? Yeah, the one thing I had a problem with, it took me over a year to find employment after graduating college. And the huge problem is what they're considering entry level. They all require like 4 years of experience, 3 years of experience. It's like, that's not entry level then, my friend. They all, I don't know what they expect that 3 years of experience to come as unpaid experience. Like, well, and I'm sure it's the same now. That was, oh God, that was 10 years ago, but, geez, so old when I graduated college, but yeah, it's all experience. This is an entry-level position. It only pays, $25,000 a year, but you must have 3 years of experience or graduate schooling that would be equivalent or something. It's like, really? That's bonkers. Bonkers, I say. We need to take control and upend these atrocities against us. I don't know if I could call them an atrocity, but just terrible things indeed. That pig is on his own island, and he's difficult to get to. All right, you there are the master of your little island domain. I will leave you be. Ooh, an archway. We got to go under the archway. Oh, there's another pig. This pig can die. You are struggling to even keep your head above water. Did that guy drop something? Yeah, he did. All right, we've got to. Let me make a couple boats here. Now I have a surplus of planks. Beep beep. Surplus of planks. Let's see here. We got another question. Oh, speaking of the workbench, from Trake. Every time, oh god, oh dear lord, oh, I'm through the boat. Every time Trake, I think it's Trake. Every time they donate, they give me a little like pronunciation of their name, of how to pronunciate their name, and I'm sure I get it wrong every time. But how long have you had the particular workbench in Farlands or Bust? Ooh, archway. Up, 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 up. Come on, I gotta get the whole thing in picture. Boop. Well done. Blah, blah, blah. Seems it could be the oldest workbench in Minecraft history. I'm afraid this is not the original workbench. I'm sure I've lost it a couple times beforehand, but I think during the first Flobathon, it was actually noted that I misplaced one or two of my workbenches, and it is no longer, I would just leave it behind after, say, building boats or building beds or whatever, and just continue on. So the workbench is not original, I am afraid. Ooh, yeah, this is there we go. The compass is original. The diamond sword of spawn pointiness is from the spawn point. The clock I had to build in a few episodes into the journey. The bow? When did I make a bow? Did I make a bow early on? Yeah, the bows in this version of the game don't have durability, so that'll, as long as I don't die and lose it, or I don't accidentally drop it and lose it, it will remain forever and ever. My armor, I just replaced at the beginning of the season, and it's already in bad shape. But yeah, the workbench, I'm afraid, is not original. No real specialness there with the workbench. Unfortunately, this one I've had a while. I don't know. I suppose I should have been keeping track and maybe just named them or something like that. It's the Workbench Mark V. If I forget it. I've left workbenches in milestone, like hidey holes and things, haven't I? Or when I rebuilt in episode 300, didn't I build the spawn cabin Mark II or something like that? But yeah, workbench, not much specialness there with the workbench. Jason says, we have some Farlands or Bust themed questions here. He says, I miss some of your crazy adventures you got into back in your first several videos. Any chance of doing a little bit more exploring? Yeah, that brings me back to when I had to go down and I needed one more piece of gold. I found 3 pieces of gold, and I had redstone from my spawn area, but I needed another piece of gold to make the Clock of Destiny. So, I can't remember, was it episode like 30 or something? It was still pretty early on, when there wasn't that much at stake. I had Wolfie at the time. It had to be like episode 30 or 40, or maybe it was episode 50, I don't remember, where I went down digging to the caves and got the extra piece of gold. There was very early on, I went caving and got into a lot of trouble. I didn't get very far at all. And of course, the first 10 episodes, there was a lot going on. And of course, I'm sure you might be also remembering, and maybe you're confusing a bit of Farlands or Bust with some of my other early series like Combat Canyon, and Stranded in Minecraft, Castaway, other single-player series that I got into adventures and would adventure more than I do here. So yeah, I'm not sure. Like I said, we do have episode 400, good gravy, episode 400 coming up. So I mean that, there's so much at stake now. We have Wolfie. If we get into trouble in caves, Wolfie will teleport to us, and that will put him in danger. And then I'll have to find a way to get him back out. If I die, that would be, we haven't died at all ever in this world before, even since episode 1. Before we even started the Farlands thing, we've never died. Came close. Very, very close a few times, but yeah, we never died. So the first death is going to be a crazy experience. I don't know if for a milestone 400 or 500 episodes, if I want to tempt that to happen, if I do go exploring and trying to find, say, people want me to replace the diamond sword of spawn pointiness. Some people want me to do this or that for separate milestones, but yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, we'll have to, we'll find. Hopefully, this is still interesting of a journey. It's more about the journey, more about the kind of the talky, vloggy type of stuff we're doing here, podcast-ish style like I started the episode with, we're talking to ourselves. It's as if this is an internal monologue, and you guys are just in on the joke, in on the monologue here. I'm telling myself the news. This is what's happening. Space news and video game news. I'm simply repeating it to myself so I remember it. So yeah, we'll see. I'm not sure what kind of adventures we can get in. It is kind of, because we are stuck in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3, there isn't much new things. You know, there aren't like new biomes we're ever going to come across, or villages, or dungeons, or, well, I mean, there's the dungeons, but I mean the stronghold. You know, there's nothing technically new aside from the random terrain generation that we're going to run into, so the adventuring is slightly limited. Also for a technical reasons, caving in this version of the game is a very dark experience. There is no way to adjust the brightness or the gamma within the game, and you'll remember in a lot of early Minecraft series that the YouTuber would actually do some artificial brightening while caving, even with torches. Artificial brightening. X's Adventures in Minecraft. He falsely made the Half-Life spotlight. The bloop he would turn on when he was caving because he knew how difficult it was, and then YouTube would go ahead and darken it when it processed the video. How difficult it was for people to see. And didn't that happen? I saw an article somewhere that it is the 4-year anniversary when X started playing Minecraft, which I know him and Paul Soares Jr. were kind of some of the first to actually make series out of Minecraft, and X started his in, it was probably August of 2010, which about makes sense because the following, September, I started watching his series, and then in September of 2010, I bought Minecraft officially and was playing since then. And then in March 2011 is when I started my own series. It didn't make it. Oh God, gonna drown. So yeah, I think that was coming up. So yeah, we're having anniversaries and milestones and whatnot's happening here. So yeah, thank you very much for that question. The Far Lands or Bust. We had a Far Lands or Bust themed question time here. Aside from that whole finding employment after graduating college question, but yeah, I really do appreciate it. And I want to mention again at the end of the episode here, it's getting kind of, I kind of teased on Twitter that I might live stream today or tonight. I'm not entirely sure if that's going to be able to take place because I am trying to do the... Have a seat, Wolfie, have a seat. Hit, up, snap, up. There we go. Woo! Boop. Wolf hockey. I am doing the weekly live streams thanks to the Patreon support, and we don't have a specific schedule yet. So I've been mixing it up. Last week we did Tuesday. This week I was thinking of doing Wednesday, but things are coming up, so it might be Thursday. However, please follow me on Twitter. That is the place to follow me if you want to know if I'm live streaming or what the schedule is going to be. And you can check that out, or follow me on Twitch TV/KurtJMac. Follow me there and you'll get notified when I'm live. And yeah, we'll figure that out. It's running out of time for today, so it might be tomorrow, Thursday, in the afternoon, maybe, probably. It's all up in the air. I'm a professional, but yeah, we will eventually get a more steady schedule there, so everybody can expect a certain date and time on a weekly schedule. But I do appreciate you standing by with me as I figure this stuff out. And I appreciate you continuing donating to Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. You can get me a question, and I will answer said question in a future episode. Keeping me I cannot sleep on a compass. There we go. Keep me talking about things on this long journey, this 13.5 gigabyte journey to the Far Land so far. It's great stuff indeed. And yeah. Thanks. Woof. Yeah, thank you, Wolfie, for interrupting my kind of blankness that I was having there. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I we'll see you next time. Ooh, woo.